All right. Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. We are so back for the 50th millionth time. All right. So rumors are true. We've decided to accept the trade of our young goat of CS. I can only ask you to direct your feedback to me and not to the CS management staff for players, as we made this decision on org level. Ilya's contract ends in December of this year, and we decided to maximize our chance of rebuilding our team for the future with this trade instead of hoping for last minute turn of events. That's fair. I'm very sad to see Ilya go. Wish him the best. After 4 years of failing to lift CS trophies under the previous management, this roster and the staff have finally landed 6th in the last 2 years for the G2 banner, including Cologne and Katowice. No major though. But still, yeah, it's been a lot better. It's obvious that he was becoming a bit disconnected from the rest of the team due to his situation. It was very difficult to have meaningful conversations with potential talents without the clarity around his future. Now that the decision has been made, we're going to make the best of the last 3 events of the season and work in parallel to prepare for the next season with ambition. Ichi is one of the only orgs globally to perform at the highest level in all AAA games. We have a legacy of building. This is the most okay. Why do we care about what you do in other games? But anyway, maybe that's just me. I'm CS pilled. What can I say? This is a nothing sandwich, but this does confirm it. I do think that. I mean, I at least it confirms this. Like, right? This was the thing. Decided in December that they would they had 6 months left. They could sit there and try to convince m0NESY that he should totally stay, but the chances of that happening without some crazy results are pretty slim. They messed up when they let Nico go. I don't think they let Nico go. I think that they said what anybody would say, which is like, we want to, like, nobody that's like on the losing end wants to make it seem like they couldn't actually like do it. No, they just eventually the Falcons set a number that Nico couldn't say no to anymore, and G2 didn't want to look like they just like lost out on a money battle, I guess. But that would have been actually more understandable. Going like, we just chose not to, I think is pretty weak, but whatever. Like, I don't really put too much like thought into that side of things. They were going to lose Nico. Like, at a certain point, money is just money, and it's just people are going to sit here and shame others for taking it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, there is just going to be a number where like, it just doesn't make sense to say no to. I'm sorry, but that does eventually happen. And I do think m0NESY probably had real intentions of staying with G2. I also think that with how poorly the team started performing, and they maybe underestimated, and m0NESY underestimated how much they actually had to do. Like, I just think that was really more so what sent m0NESY into Falcons rather than like I don't think it was like a money thing. I just don't think it was a money thing at all. I think eventually he just didn't see a future with G2 and then being able to win games, and figured that was a better option for him. I'm not saying money doesn't play a factor, but and like I said, I could be just like trying to sound smarter than I am. But I imagine, dude, like when Shuei comes on the market and like doesn't seem like G2 even attempted to go for him. If you're sitting there m0NESY and your team's struggling to do well, and feels like you need like something to kind of kickstart the team or like maybe move forward, and like you have like an IGL in terms of Shuei become available, and you're not even, but I think eventually it just ends up like being a situation where he didn't see the future with G2 anymore, and he didn't trust the management to actually be able to do that. It's just, yeah, when we're looking at this, sorry for the different aspect ratio now, but there's no way. And the other side of this is like m0NESY couldn't have gone to any other org earlier. Nobody was going to be able to pay G2 this amount of money to buy him out just 6 months early out of his contract. Also, Dexter put his, I mean, I don't know why. I still like, the biggest thing out of this that I'm kind of shocked is, I'd be so curious if Dexter just said no, or if they didn't even bother to just get, like, you're telling me right now Falcons wouldn't have let them just like, if G2 was just like, can we just have Dexter as well? Like, they wouldn't just be like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? No way. I'm surprised that like they're going for Hades, I was actually a big fan of Hades and Go. I haven't watched him in CS2 at all. Like, right, like you're just like, hey, can I get that shit for free?